Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Today we will be moving to the another topic, that is Indian polity. Primarily the topics from especially all the questions from almost every questions from Indian polity will be based on the current affair, the static portion, that is purely from your Lakshmikant or your NCERT. So you should not be that keen on studying all the current affairs of Indian polity. Rather, you should focus on identifying static portions from the available current affairs session, or you should be mapping the current affairs session with the static portion. Your question will be primarily based on current affairs session, purely will be on the foundation of current affairs, but the question will be from static portion. So you should be focusing on mapping the current affairs with the static portion. So there will be very limited number of current affairs related to Indian polity. Mostly the current affairs related to Indian polity will be from changes in acts, ordinances, etc. That kind of questions will not be given that priority in UPSC prelims examination. It will be better to give an idea or get an idea on the static portion or the very important portions of Indian polity. The question will be primarily based on how the parliament is working, how the Rajya Sabha is working, how the center-state relation or federalism is working. That kind of question will be you are going to get, or that kind of the question will be there in your examination. Okay, so it should be noted that you have already identified all the static portion, or you have completed all the static portion of Indian polity, because Indian polity is one of the most important sections of prelims. You should have a basic idea on that, but it does not mean that current affairs is not important, but primarily the questions will be based on static portion itself. So I have identified certain topics, very limited topics from Indian polity that can be mapped to the static portion, and there is a chance that that will be asked in your prelims 2020. That is almost 12 or 13 questions or topics only. So try to identify these topics, at least learn these topics and revise it. There is a chance that the question will be from these things, and whenever you are going to revise, sorry for that, sorry again, whenever you are learning Indian polity or revising Indian polity, you should be having an idea on what kind of questions are going to be on your prelims. That is, there will be a question on fundamental rights, DPSP, etc. There will be questions on parliament, state legislature and its working. There will be one or two questions on constitutional bodies. There will be questions on very basics of constitution like federalism, democracy, etc. Okay, these 5 or 6 questions can be the most predictable sections of Indian polity. So you should be focusing on that as well when you revise. Okay. Today we will be moving to the most important topics of Indian polity, and I have mapped the current affairs with the static portion. It's just 12 or 13 topics. Just go through this, and also you should revise your basic textbooks. Indian polity questions cannot be directly identified from current affairs. Rather, you should be revising your Indian polity by Lakshmikant and NCERTs so that you can answer more question. Okay, there will be 14 to 20 questions from Indian polity itself, and it is your duty to answer all of that. At least answer 95% or 90% of that. Okay, there is You should not leave any of the question, or you should not make mistakes on any of the questions. Okay, that is today's topic is Indian polity, and we will be starting with union territories. Okay, the sections on union territory is most important for prelims 2020 because there was different changes throughout the period. For example, two new union territories was created, that is Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and also Dadra and Nagar Haveli was merged. So you should be understanding these. It will be better for you. So study in detail about union territories. I have identified certain aspects related to the current affairs, but you should be learning union territory in total, or all the details of union territory in Lakshmian should be understood. Okay, there is a chance that it can be in your prelims. That is, first topic is union territories. That is, currently India has 8 union territories, because which one are they? Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Chandigarh, Delhi, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, and Daman and Diu. It is merged into one. Lakshadweep is there, Puducherry is there, and Andaman Nicobar is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, that is new 2 union territories was created. At the same time, 2 different union territories was merged together to form a single union territory. So it should be understood. That is, currently India have 8 union territories, and Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act of 2019 was passed by the Parliament. That means Jammu and Kashmir was reorganized into union territories, J&K division, with legislative assembly, and union of territory without having a assembly. So second point is regarding static. Which of the following union territories have legislative assemblies? There is Delhi. Already there is Delhi and Puducherry, and now we have Jammu and Kashmir. That means 3 union territories in the country have legislative assembly. So next, static relations. You should connect with this, and you should also understand the powers of legislative assembly in each of the union territory, and you should also connect the role played by governor or lieutenant governors of union territory and the president. There is a certain role that the president should play a major role in Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Andaman Nicobar, etc. You should also learn that. Connect with this, because these connections can help you in getting more questions in Indian polity. Okay, and next one is Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Merger of Union Territories Act was passed in 2019, so that Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu will be merged together. Okay, that is another point. And next one is the amendment to the first schedule. That is all amendments related to the first schedule of constitution is not recognized as a constitutional amendment under article 368 of the constitution, so that the parliament can make or amend or create new union territories with this. That is, it does not consider as a part of constitutional amendment act, constitutional amendment under article 368. So you should also understand that. That is union territories. In relation to this, you should also understand the roles played by lieutenant governors, the roles played by president, and the powers of legislative assembly in the union territories, and how the election is conducted. All those details should be learned. It is very critical for your prelims examination, because 2 major reforms or 2 major changes has been inculcated into the union system of union territories. So it is very important for your prelims. Do go through the chapter on union territories in Lakshmikant. Okay. Next one is 9th schedule. This was regularly in news. So there is a chance that non-scheduled maybe asked in your prelims, the question will be the non-schedule is related to something like that. I think it was asked in past 2 or 3 years back. There is a chance that it can repeat. Non-schedule, that is, non-schedule of the Indian Constitution consists of a list of central and state laws which cannot be challenged in the courts. That is, non-schedule contains certain or a list of central and state laws which cannot be challenged in the courts. So it can be asked. The basic idea is non-schedule of the Constitution contains list of central and state laws which cannot be challenged in the courts. It was added in the First Amendment in 1951 and it was created by the new article 31B along with 31A was brought in the government to protect the laws related to agrarian reforms and for abolishing zamindari system. That is the basic idea was initiated in First Amendment itself. It was supposed to protect the interest of agrarian community, or it was meant to provide agrarian reform and for abolishing zamindari system. But in IR Koilo versus State of Tamil Nadu case, that is Koilo case or Koilo versus State of Tamil Nadu case, Supreme Court held that the laws placed in non-schedule were open to judicial scrutiny. That is, even if the laws are placed in non-schedule under Koilo case or after Koilo case, they have suggested that the laws placed in non-schedule were open to judicial scrutiny. That is, Supreme Court has laid down dual test to examine the validity of a law placed in non-schedule. That is, whether it violates the fundamental rights. The first test is whether it violates any fundamental rights. If yes, then whether the violation also damages the basic structure. That is, if the answer to the both question is affirmative, then only laws placed in the non-schedule can be declared unconstitutional. That is, the first question will be whether the law affects fundamental rights. The second question is, if yes, the second question will be whether it will affect the basic structure. So there will be a thorough check on that. Okay, that is non-schedule. You should learn these facts regarding non-schedule. Primarily the question will be if there is a question on non-schedule, that will be like giving 2 or 3 statements, or there will be a question of what do you mean by, or what is the objective of non-schedule. That will be the question. It will be a very easy question. Everyone can easily crack this if there is a question on non-schedule. Okay, next one is parliamentary privileges. Do go through this parliamentary privileges because it is essential. Parliamentary privileges. The idea is collective, and there is collective and individual privileges. A collective privilege means there is considering parliamentary privileges, there will be collective privileges and individual members, or privileges to individual members. That is, for individual members, that is, they cannot be arrested during a session of parliament or 40 days before or after. That is, privilege is not available for criminal cases but for civil cases. That is, the member cannot be arrested for at least 40 days prior to the session. And second one is the freedom of speech in parliament. That is, not liable to anything said or voted in parliament or committees. That is, the person who undertakes any actions or undertakes any speech in the parliament is not liable for that, or a person can use his freedom of speech or complete freedom of speech within the boundaries of parliament. And last one is exempted from jury service, can refuse to give evidence and appear as a witness in pending case if session going on. That is, individual members. Collectively they said that there is 1978, that is, the press publish reports parliament without prior but not of secret sitting. That is, in for reporting any of the measures taken in secret sitting, there should be, or the media requires certain permission from the parliament. And next one is, it can exclude strangers from the secret sitting, make rules to regulate its own procedure, punish members outside of breach of privileges. This can be recently the breach of privilege was being used by the Karnataka government or Karnataka Legislative Assembly. That there is a chance that this question will be in your prelims. And right to receive info on arrest, detention of members, institute enquiries, all that related to elective parliament. For example, if the ministers, if ministers violate certain privileges, a member can ask the minister certain questions, and if the minister violates that right, it can also be charged under breach of privilege. That is privilege motion. You should also mention privilege motion in this. You should also get an idea of privilege motion. And Article 105 and Article 192, Parliament and State Legislature confers certain privileges to legislative institutions and their members. And there is no law that codifies all the privileges of legislatures of India. That is, there is no actual codification of privileges. Okay, all these things should be learned. Okay, that is the first thing, parliamentary privileges. Second one is, next one is Article 131, fourth topic. That is Article 131 of Indian Constitution talks about the original jurisdiction of Constitution. For example, last time they have asked 142. Previously, they have asked certain other portions. That is, every year there is a trend that they will be asking certain articles, and you will be asked to define that articles. Which of the following is the correct objective of Article 142, or which of the following accurately defines Article 131? There can be a chance that there will be a question on the same. That is, Article 131 of the Constitution talks about original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, where the apex court deals with any dispute between center and state. That is original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, where the apex court will be dealing with the dispute between center and state, or center and a state on the other, on one side, and another state on the other side, or two or more states. That is, Article 130 deals with the all the issues pertaining to federal disputes between states, or between center and states, or between a groups of state or center and states. Okay, that is Article 131. A dispute to qualify under Article 31, it must involve a question of law or fact on which the existence of a legal right of state or the sender depends. For example, recently Kerala government and Chhattisgarh government has initiated a case in Supreme Court stating the violation of Article 131, or it is in the purview of Article 131. Go through the case and identify the importance of that. You will be asked, there is a chance that that will be in your mains examination, but primarily these questions will be, or definition of Article 131 will be in your prelims. Okay. This article is important. There will not be a different statements for this. There will be a direct question on this. Okay, just understand the direct questions. Okay, that is Article 131. Next one is Gram Nyayalayas. This is very important. It was in news since 2016, and it was never asked. There is a chance that it can be in your prelims. Normally, Gram Nyayalayas was one of the least preferred topics by every aspirants, but it should be learned. That is, you only require all this data. There is nothing other than this is required for you. The first one is Gram Nyayalayas Act 2008 came into force on October 2, 2019. More than 5,000 Gram Nyayalayas was expected to create under the Act. That is, Gram Nyayalayas Act came into being in 2008 and 2009. Or into force in 2009 and passed in 2008. And next one is, it was expected that more than 5,000 Gram Nyayalayas will be there after the implementation. But the issue was, it didn't happen in real life. That is, only less than 500 gram न्यायालय are there in existence, and there is no gram न्यायालय in northeastern states. Okay, and gram न्यायालय is established for every panchayat at intermediate level or group of contiguous panchayats at intermediate level in the district. That is, it is established for every panchayat at intermediate level or group of contiguous panchayat at intermediate level in a district. And next one is, the state government in consultation with High Court notifies the boundaries of the area under jurisdiction of Gram न्यायालय. That is, state government in consultation with the High Court notifies the boundaries of area under jurisdiction of a Gram न्यायालय. It can also alter such limits anytime. And next one is, it can hold mobile courts in villages falling under its jurisdiction. That is, the first one is, it will be established in the intermediate level. Second one is, the state government in consultation with the High Court notifies the boundaries. Third one is, it can hold mobile courts in the villages falling under its jurisdiction. And next one is, state government appoints a presiding officer called Nyayadhikari for every Gram न्यायालय in consultation with High Court, who will be a person eligible to be appointed as judicial magistrate of first class. That is, the person presiding over Gram न्यायालय will be known as Nyayadhikari, who will be appointed by the government in consultation with High Court, and he will be eligible to be appointed as a judicial magistrate of first class. Okay, and next one is the powers and jurisdiction of Gram न्यायालय. That is, they have both civil and criminal jurisdiction. That is, both criminal and civil jurisdiction is entrusted on Gram न्यायालय, and there is certain restriction. That is, the offences not punishable with death, imprisonment for life, or imprisonment for a term exceeding 2 years, not by 2 years, cannot be added in Gram न्यायालय's purview. Or, for example, if a case or a criminal case which can lead to death punishment, or the maximum punishment will be death punishment, if for that crime, it cannot be taken up by the Gram न्यायालय. And the last one is, they are not bound by the rules of evidence provided in the Indian Evidence Act. Rather, they will be guided by natural justice. The other thing that is guided by natural justice will be tribunals and administrative tribunals. Other tribunals and administrative tribunals under 323 A and B. Okay, just for your information, that is, these things are essential for identifying Gram न्यायालय. It is enough for Gram न्यायालय in the case of prelims examination. There is no need for anything other than this. Okay, hope you are getting the idea. Next one is Delimitation Commission. Delimitation Commission. Sorry. Next one is Delimitation Commission. This is also important for your prelims examination. Delimitation Commission. That is the act or process of fixing limits or boundaries of territorial constituencies in a country or a provinces having legislative body. That is, delimitation is the process where the boundaries of a legislative council or a legislative body is being fixed. That is delimitation, the process of limitation. Under Article 82, the Parliament enacts Delimitation Act after the census, every census, which established a Delimitation Commission under Article 170. And state also get divided into territorial constituencies as per Delimitation Act after every censuses. Okay, next one is Delimitation Commission is appointed by the President of India and works in collaboration with Election Commission of India. That is, Delimitation Commission is appointed by President of India and works in collaboration with Election Commission of India. And ex officio members will be, there will be a serving or retired judge of Supreme Court as the chairperson. That is, chairperson will be serving or retired judge of Supreme Court. And next one is Chief Election Commissioner or any member or any election commissioner recommended by or nominated by Chief Election Commission. And last one is State Election Commissioner as the third one. That is 3 ex officio members in Delimitation Commission. The first one is serving or retired judge of Supreme Court. Next one is Chief Election Commissioner or any election commissioner referred by or nominated by Election Commissioner. And last one is State Election Commission. Okay, these things are just understand the basic things, and the function is to determining the number and boundaries of constituencies, identifying seats reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. For example, there can be a question on which of the following entity will be determining the seat reserved for scheduled caste or scheduled tribes. A. Delimitation Commission, B. Election Commission, C. Parliament, D. President. You should understand, Delimitation Commission identifies the seats reserved for scheduled caste or scheduled tribes. Okay, hope you are getting me. These are I have identified these topics because you cannot directly find it on your Indian polity. Most of the basic static portions has not been taken for this session. This will be the other session that is very important for your prelims 2020. Okay, just go through this. You do not need anything other than this for prelims on these topics. It does not mean that I am taking all the topics of Indian polity that will be in question in your prelims. Means if these topics are in question, you just need all these facts. Almost every facts and details has been inculcated into this session regarding this. Okay, next one is Controller General of Accounts or CGA or Article 150. But the importance is CGA works under Department of Expenditure, Ministry of Finance. He acts as the principal advisor on accounting matters to the Government of India, and it is not a constitutional body. Okay, first thing to understand is it is not a constitutional body, but it derives its powers from Article 150. For example, the erstwhile Planning Commission gets its powers from Article 282 of Indian Constitution. Similarly, this CGA or Controller General of Accounts get its powers from Article 150, but it is not a constitutional body. And the Article 150 states that the accounts of the Union and the state shall be kept in such a form as prescribed by the President on the advice of Comptroller and Auditor General. That is Article 150. Just understand the basic article. There can be similar to 131. Article 150 is also important. That is CGA. The basic idea is CGA is not a constitutional body, but it derives its powers from Article 150. Okay. Next one is India Enterprise Architecture or India. That is India Enterprise Architecture. India or India Enterprise Architecture is a framework for developing a holistic architecture treating the government as a single enterprises. For example, in the current scenario, the government is considered of multiple departments which are not interconnected. The connection between several departments and ministries and several organizations within the government is yet to fulfill. So, India architecture or India Enterprises Architecture is identified to make the government as a single enterprise. With India, there will be one personalized account for each individual, and he or she can avail all the government services from that account. For example, in the case of or in the current scenario, if you want certain benefits from the government, you need to create certain accounts in each and every one. For example, there is for passport, there you will be having an account in Ministry of External Affairs, and if you want some other pension or something like that, you need to have your account in other sections. So instead of that, all will be added under one personalized account under India architecture. It will be ensuring that the system have more ease of doing business, or a single entity can provide more, or single enterprise can provide more benefits to the individuals. That is India enterprise architecture or India. Next one is Portal Sandusht. Next one is Portal Sandusht. That is, the objective of Sandusht is to promote transparency, accountability, effective delivery of public services, and implementation of policies of schemes of Ministry of Labour and Employment at grassroots level through constant monitoring. That is, the Portal Sandesh or Sandesh portal aims to provide transparency in implementation of schemes of Ministry of Labour and Employment at grassroots level. Okay, that is, Portal Sandesh aims to identify the transparency and accountability of implementation of various schemes of Ministry of Labour and Employment at grassroots level. That is it. There is nothing other than this. Just learn what it is. Okay, that is enough for your preparation. Okay. Next one is elections to Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is very important for your prelims. It is important for every year. You should be knowing the basic related to Rajya Sabha. Okay. Next one is Rajya Sabha. That is, the representatives of states in Rajya Sabha are elections to Rajya Sabha. That is, representatives of states in Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of State Legislative Assembly. And in the case of representatives of Union Territory in Rajya Sabha are elected by the are elected by the members of an electoral college specially constituted for the purpose. That is, in the case of states, the representatives are elected by the members of State Legislative Assemblies. The second one is representatives of Union Territories in the Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of by an electoral college specially constituted for the purpose. And the importance of Rajya Sabha is not subject to resolution. It will be there every time, and 1/3 of its member retire every second year. Each member has a 6-year term. And another important fact is none of the above does not apply to Rajya Sabha polls, as Supreme Court held that Nota option is meant only for universal adult suffrage and direct elections. Okay, and in these are related to elections to Rajya Sabha. Regarding this, you should also learn about the comparisons of powers between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. You should compare the powers of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and what all are the powers that is being provided to Rajya Sabha in certain bills. For example, constitutional amendment bill is there, money bill is there, normal ordinary bill is there. You should compare, or you should also identify the role of Rajya Sabha in emergency provisions, because the questions will be like that. Okay, if there is not a question on directly on Rajya Sabha, the question will be like this: a comparison between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. There is a chance that a question from Rajya Sabha will be there, because it is very much important for your prelims and mains. Okay, you should know the very details of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, etc. Okay. The next one is National Crisis Management Committee. This one should be learned. Okay, you should also go through this one also. That is, the government of India has set up a National Crisis Management Committee with Cabinet Secretary as its chairman. That is Cabinet Secretary is the chairman of National Crisis Management Committee, and secretaries of ministries, departments and agencies with specific disaster management responsibilities are part of National Crisis Management Committee, and it oversees the command, control and coordination of disaster response. The functions are, first one is to oversee the command, control and coordination of the disaster response, and also give direction to the crisis management group as deemed necessary. In this section, the question will be like, there was National Crisis Management Committee was in news. It was related to a defense reform, 2 disaster management, 3 cyber security, etc, etc. There can be a question similar to that. Okay, just understand the very basic. National Crisis Management Committee is to oversee the command, control and coordination of disaster response, and it is headed by, your chairman is Cabinet Secretary, and there is secretaries of ministry, department and agencies with specific disaster response, disaster management responsibilities. Okay, this is National Crisis Management Committee. Just understand the basics. Okay. Next one is suspension of MPs from Parliament. Who can suspend the MPs from Parliament and how can it be done? That is, the rule number 373 of the Rules of Procedure and Conduct of the Business says that the Speaker, if is of opinion that the conduct of any member is grossly disorderly, if there is an issue in the conduct of MPs, shall do so forthwith and shall remain absent during the remainder of day sitting. That is, a speaker can suspend a member of parliament, or similarly a chairman of Rajya Sabha can suspend a member of parliament or member of Rajya Sabha if his conduct is disorderly or if there is an issue in his conduct. That is the first point. And the second point is, while the speaker is empowered to place a member under suspension, the authority of revocation of this order is not vested with her. It is for the House, if it so desires, to resolve on a motion to revoke the suspension. That is, the speaker or chairman can suspend a member, but it is the duty of the entire House to revoke the suspension through a motion. So it should be noted. That is, the speaker can directly, speaker of chairman can directly suspend a member if there is an issue in their conduct. And second one is, the most important one is, the suspension cannot be revoked by the speaker of chairman. Rather, it can be revoked only by the House itself through a motion. So it should be noted. Okay, that is suspension of MPs from Parliament. Okay. These are the important topics that can be traced back to the static portion itself. So these are the 12 topics I have identified. There will be more topics, but these are the very basic or most important sections of Indian polity. So you should be knowing all these things. Okay, you should have an idea on all these things, and also go through kindly or please go through your static portion. Do not overstress on current affairs. Do not overdo on current affairs. Most of your question, that is more than 60 or 70% of question, will be from static portion. It is enough to clear your examination. Do not over believe that question will be directly from current affairs, everything will be from current affairs. Do not believe that. The question will be primarily based on static portions. You should be doing that, and do download our app so that you can take daily tests on for Prelims 2020. There is PrelimsDhyan test series is conducting on our application. You can download it from our Android. Download it from the Play Store. Just download it and go through that. It will be very important, very beneficial for you to learn how to clear the examination. And it is the time that you have only 7 days or 1 week. Revise and revise. And we are initiating a mains then similar to this. There will be detailed classes, quality enrichment programs, etc. for mains. Come back and do follow our YouTube channel so that you will be getting all the data regarding our new programs. There will be Main Shot 2020 test series. You can register it now or you can join it after the examination. Whatever it is, try to clear prelims 2020. Okay, that is your single okay, is there any time period for the suspension? The time period can be determined by the speaker, as I believe. Kindly go through that also. The important other miscellaneous topics will be taken on Monday. Don't worry, including economic survey, budget, and other miscellaneous things will be taken on Monday the same time, that is 5 o'clock. Next thing is do subscribe the channel, and we will be continuing similar programs for mains as well. And do good, revise. That is your strategy for next 7 days. Do not overdo on current affairs. Just revise what you have learned already. Just go through all that. Okay. Best of luck. Work more. You will definitely clear. Do not worry. Don't be confused. Don't be overstressed. Be cool and write your examination. Thank you. We will see on Monday. We will be taking the miscellaneous topics like economic survey, etc. All the topics from economic survey, etc. will be taken. Okay. Thank you for joining with me. Thank you.